Ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful day in the village of Hempstead, made even more beautiful because we have an opportunity to honor one of our own. Charlene, Lipsey, would you join us, please? Now, before I turn the mic over to Christopher Kerman, and himself a great student, athlete, and citizen, I got to make a comment or two about my Charlene Lipsey. I had an opportunity during her 4 years at Hempstead High School to see her run on many occasions, including state track meets. And this young lady, as you will hear again, I'll be a little bit redundant here in the beginning, holds 8 school records. I referenced a moment ago state track meets. She has 5 gold medals in state track meets. She was an All-American at Hempstead High School, an All-American at Louisiana State University, and now she represents us on the pro track circuit. Applause. Now, I fancy myself as a bit of an historian, so I researched, and I had to go back nearly 100 years to find anybody who's close to the distinction that you've had at Hempstead High School. Now, for the benefit of Pat Moore, who was a classmate of Mary Washburn in the 1920s. Sit down, order. Mary once run track was a superstar like you are, and she did something we all prayed you'll have an opportunity to do. She competed in the 1924 Olympics. That was the first time women were allowed to compete in the Olympics. And I know you're that close, and we're all going to be pushing for you. Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a person who was the valedictorian of a class at Hempstead High School, great friend of the news, Richard Kremen will take over.
Okay. So good evening, everyone, and welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you all for being here as we honor Charlene Lipsey, All-American, breaker of records, champion of worlds, first of her name. Over these next 20 minutes or so, you will hear more about Charlene's dynamic journey and some of her most notable achievements as an athlete and throughout her career. But before we begin, I wanted to briefly say some more about the parts of Charlene's journey that have gone largely unnoticed, even though they were among the most critical to her success. I remember in high school, every once in a while, random people, usually boys, would challenge Charlene to a race, not knowing that behind that kind demeanor is a tiger. She did not play. She would drop her book bag so quick and race them. She has always been a good sport, but beyond that, Charlene is a competitor and does not walk away from a good challenge. The last time I remember Charlene walking away from anything, we were in high school again, and she skipped basketball to hang out at track practice. At the time, she was playing basketball. We had been dodging her coach, Coach Pratt, and we had a code name. It was Code 10, and that meant run and hide when we saw him. But eventually, she left basketball to join track, and that was the rest was history. She was the anchor on our junior team at first, but then our coach, Raffington, saw how well she was doing and he moved her up right away. She's been breaking records ever since. Over the years, Charlene has become a hometown hero, and every step of the way we've done our best to celebrate her victories. But she has worked so much harder than any of us know. She has made sacrifices we were not aware of, and she's tackled so many hardships and challenges alone. All the while, she's remained so humble and so kind. Always, people want to discuss sports, track, wins and losses with her, but even more than track, she has been very considerate and cared very deeply about the state of the world, the state of our community, and her loved ones. And all of these things were on her list of motivators. Charlene's talent has brought her so far, but her success is due entirely to her heart and her grit. She's worked so hard to be here and to be in a number of places I'm sure she never imagined she would be. Because she is Hempstead's finest, we've had the pleasure of going with her to a number of countries, on several tours across several continents, Europe, North America, South America, and beyond. We have rooted for her every step of the way because she's made us proud and she has helped put Hempstead on the map. She has represented us well. Being the recipient of the Key to the Village is one of the highest distinctions, and there is no one more fitting or deserving of that honor. A key is about access to opportunities, and the more Charlene discovered, the more she gave and brought home to the rest of us. Charlene unlocked her potential and unleashed her talent. When she came home, she brought gold. But more importantly, she brought and shared her knowledge and her lessons. Through grit and determination, she has opened a number of doors for herself and blazed the trail for the young women and young men who are following her very large footsteps. She has definitely made her mark on this village and on the world, but this is only the beginning, and we are also very proud of you, my friend. I love you, and today we honor you.
And we have an honor now to ask one of the coaches, guidance counselors in this high school, himself a legend and a great track star, Michael Higgins.
To the Hempstead Village, to the leadership, I bring greetings from Hempstead High School. I bring greetings from the Hempstead High School Track Nation. And what I'd like to share with you is talk a little, just quickly, a little bit about the recipe for success. The recipe for success for Charlene Lipsey. Now, I had the good fortune of being her guidance counselor from the time she was in 9th grade. And, you know, just a little quick story. She used to get very angry at me because Charlene used to look very similar to another 9th grader. And if I called her by the other 9th grader's name, she would get mad and walk out of my office and stomp down the hall. But be that as it may, we talk about her skipping basketball and coming towards track, and it just happened that one day we're practicing and I happened to see her, and I encouraged her to try track for 2 weeks. And to give it 2 weeks, and if you didn't like it, then go back to basketball, because I didn't know she was a basketball player. I just saw her run by me, and I went like that. And then she ran by me again, and I looked like that. And as a track coach and somebody that's been involved in athletics, you can tell when somebody has that gift. Yeah. And so we just encouraged her to try. And so the recipe for success was this: to combine Charlene Lipsey with my fellow coach, Coach Leroy Raffington, who in my estimation is one of the greatest coaches Hempstead High School has ever had. You put those two together and you just watch them shine. And Charlene continued to get better and better and better. So the recipe is this for Miss Lipsey: to be humble. And she's one of the most humble persons you could ever meet. One of the most humble. You would think that somebody with all the accolades and all the success would have a big head and would always brag about this and that. That is not this young lady. She is humble. The other thing that you look at the recipe is have family support and love her family. She loves her family to death. All right? It's one of the interesting things, no matter where she goes, I don't care where she goes across the globe, what's the first place that she goes back to? Home. See her family to make sure they're okay. So that recipe, combining those things, and there was one other thing that I would just share with you that we used to do, and this started in 9th grade. We used to take and sit down and say, what are your goals for this year? And she'd write down the goals that she wanted, and she started in 9th grade. And she'd write down what her goals were, and they would be academically, athletically, what have you. We seal it in the envelope and wait to the end of the year, and then open that envelope up and see if she had aspired and was able to make those goals. And every single year she made those goals. Every single year. In her first year she said, I wanted to be All-American. I wanted to run a certain time. I wanted to be a national champion. So guess what happened? That's what happened. And to this day, you know, we remain in contact, and she always sets goals for herself. What were her goals for this year? We talked about it before the season started, and she said, I want to make the national team. I want to represent the United States. I want to go to the World Championships, and I'd love to make the finals. Well, guess what happened? Guess what happened? She represented the United States, and like Brittany said, when Charlene runs, she runs for all of us. She runs for all of us. She not only runs for herself, but she represents Hempstead. And it's sometimes that you have people that where they come from, they don't say, oh, I came from here, I came from there. This young lady always talks about Hempstead. She's always asking me about what's going on. She represents Hempstead, and she represents you, and she carries you on her back across the globe. And so that's why I think that tonight is definitely, if you cannot be honored in your own home and not loved by your own people and your own family, then what do you really have? So I think this is the greatest opportunity, and this is the greatest expression that you can have aside from the family to show that we love you and that we respect you and we see what you're doing, and we will support you to the very end. So with that, I said the recipe again is this young lady has it all, and she's just getting started. One thing Mayor Reiner would say that is important to know, Charlene Lipsey has the fastest time ever run by an American woman for an indoor 800 meters. The fastest time ever run. This is just the beginning, and as she says, Tigers for life. Yeah.
I would like to at this time introduce the poet laureate of the village of Hempstead, Ruth Roberson. Ruth.
Charlene, this is for you. The wings of angels on your feet. This is what makes you hard to do. You took to the track of life, and you fly with the grace of an eagle. Your life is a reflection of a true champion. The brilliance of success, you have proven to be the best. As you take your next steps, I wish for you all the blessings that can possibly be bestowed upon you for today and forever. Fly. Fly as high as that luminous star that shines as a beacon in the sky. So run, my beautiful gazelle, and don't look back. Congratulations.
I should tell you, I went to a New York State Conference of Mayors meeting earlier in April, and I sat next to an individual at the dinner table who found it necessary to brag about the 800-meter runner at his high school. Too big an opening for me to avoid. I said to him, that little phone you have, let me give you a name. Put Charlene Lipsey in there. He put it in, he said, oh my God. Those are the greatest in the world. I said, well, indeed, she's from Hempstead. I did us honor. And because of that, this boy is down into the world. I want to share in these honors. Coach Higgins, would you come up? Is that the first one, please?
Just so I don't keep you here till midnight, just start reading this comment. Presented to Charlene Lipsey on September 5th, 2017, on behalf of Mayor Don Ryan and the Board of Trustees. So much.
This is the actual reason we're here. This is the key to the village of Hempstead.
I just want to say, me and Ryan have never received that, so you know you're a star.
I got to tell you, one time she did have my back. We had the relay championship team from Hempstead here to honor them when they were seniors in high school. And the first one came up and Mayor Hall said, and where are your family roots? It's Jamaica. And the next one, Jamaica. And the next one, Jamaica. Charlene looked at me and said, don't worry, I got your back. He said, where are you from? Ireland. And here it is, our stars.
Thank you guys so much for just showing out. I was not expecting this much people. I'm really overwhelmed. I was like having a mini panic attack in the bathroom, so I was like, calm down. But thank you guys so much. It means a lot. Like Higgins stated before, when you see your community like support you, it's no better feeling, because like you said, I'm traveling across the world, I'm around certain people, but it's no place like home. And to see you guys show out for me, I really, really appreciate it. I didn't read it, but Mom's like, you should, so I'm gonna just say that. But I graduated Hempstead High School, class of 09, and during that time, our slogan was, failure is not an option. And that stuck with me ever since. Living in Hempstead has helped me overcome adversity. I have been through countless situations where people doubted me and told me that my dreams would never happen. I remember specifically when I had a guest speaker at LSU, and she told me that less than 1% of the population makes it out of college and becomes a professional athlete. She then continued to tell me, what makes you believe that you'll be one of them? As she continued to speak, she was pretty much giving us other options in different career fields on what we should reconsider. After the meeting, I started doubting myself and really trying to reconsider, should I adjust my dreams? Should I keep running? Should I think about doing something else other than running? And that's when I told myself, I made that decision that I would not let somebody dictate my life and tell me what I can and cannot do. I'm a little lost, hold up. And I told myself I wouldn't be a victim, but a victor. There's no excuse not to live to your full potential. I used her words as fuel, and I went to work. I grind, I fight, I learned, and I did everything I could possibly do to perform to the best of my ability. Over the years, I transformed, I persevered, and I didn't let anything or anyone get in my way. I set long-term and short-term goals. I hung them up on my wall, and every day I worked my behind off to make my vision become my reality. Now I stand before you, a successful professional athlete who is currently ranked number 2 in the United States, number 7 in the world. And I asked myself, who would have believed a young girl from Hempstead would have accomplished so much? And I said, not many, but I did not allow that to dictate my life. Right. So I leave you with this. Follow your dreams and let your heart guard you. Do not let naysayers get to you and let them dictate your life. Set your dreams and do everything that you have to do to make that become a reality. I know a lot of us was not born with a silver spoon in our mouth, but we have to work hard to accomplish everything that we have. But without struggle, there is no success, and I hope that I'm a living testimony of that. Thank you.
If we limit it just to 2 minutes, are there any other people, family members, of course, who would like to speak?
Everybody.
You must
Being a family means you are a part of something very wonderful. It means you will love and be loved for the rest of your life, no matter what. No matter what. We love you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene's aunt. I'm Michelle, also known as Nunu, her nickname that I gave her. I just wanted to thank everyone for attending the key ceremony for my niece, Charlene Lipsey. When she was born into our family, she was a gift. We lost our mother 2 years prior, and me and my sisters had an agreement. Whoever had the first girl had to name their daughter after our mom, which was Charlene. And look what God has given us. Nunu has exceeded all of our expectations for her, and she continues to strive to do better. My niece is very humble and takes nothing for granted. Charlene is very thankful for every opportunity that track has brought her. She received her degree at LSU, so when this part of her life is over, she can become a teacher. Nunu has been all over the world, different countries, but the funniest thing of all, she doesn't like to be the center of attention. And now there's like almost 100 people here that have become Nunu's family also. But I wanted to thank my sisters because we all have children at early ages, and people say you can't do it. My sister has done a phenomenal job with the backing of her children. So, opportunities do happen, you just have to take it. And I wish my niece the best, as I do with any of my nieces and nephews. If you strive to be good, then the family will back you. If you don't want to do anything, don't call. About 2 weeks ago, I texted my niece, and I kept texting her, and what did you tell me? Auntie, I'm in Switzerland right now. But that's all, every time I call her, she wants somewhere else. But if anybody would like to say anything, you can have the mic. But this is Auntie's baby.
And now to close the program, we bring up a member of the Board of Education of the Village of Hempstead, Dr. David B. Gates.
From one tiger to another. I'm a graduate of her class of 1982. And so I'm grateful to have this opportunity to see history in the making. And I want to share with you one of the poets, Maya Angelou, said that you are the gift that our ancestors gave. You are the hope and the dream of the slave. Every time someone will tell Hempstead what we are not and what we cannot produce, you are no longer just a local celebrity, a local star, but you've taken us global. You've defied the odds of this community and what man would say we could never become. You've shattered the ceiling and proven them wrong. So on behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Charlene Warniger, our Board of Education president, Ms. Maribel Torre, we want to say congratulations. We're proud. May all of the tigers in the room roar.
All right, thank you everybody for coming. A lot of love in the room, and this is the reason for it. Thank you everybody.